Get the scones now. These are nice and straightforward, pretty much the simple directions would just be put all the dry ingredients together, cut in the butter, and then put all the wet ingredients as well. Just kind of mix it up into a little batter, dough. Cut it into the desired shapes, and then go ahead and bake them. Put the heavy cream on top and some sugar as well. Not too much to say. I don't have too much to say about those scones. I think the important thing is if you would like to cut shapes, stars, moons, stuff like that, you roll it out like a cookie dough, cut your shapes, and then you put the scraps together. You only want to do that like once, so you like roll it twice, 2 total times, because after that it's going to get a little too tough. It's not going to come out as nicely as the first 2 times. Put the all-purpose flour, the sugar, a little bit of salt, so I'm just adding the baking powder right now. Yep. So my dry ingredients are together. Then I have my egg and my heavy cream. And of course, and again, if I was using regular vanilla, this is where I would put it. But again, went ahead and put it in the dough. Yeah, we're good to go. Okay. So the only thing next thing to do is to just mix everything together, form a dough, and then once the dough has formed between the liquids and the dry, that's when you add in your inclusions, the raisins and the cranberries. So that's after the dough forms, similar to like we did with the butter. So we're cutting in the butter into the flour.
This is not ice cold butter.
No, yeah, this one can be, again, it's cool. It's got to be nice, cold, and firm. So it doesn't, it doesn't have to be frozen. It doesn't have to be super, super cold. The easiest, for sure, the scones. You just kind of put the butter and then the liquids. This is like pea-sized bits of butter. So this is, there's like for pie pastry, you want kind of more like flakes, larger chunks. This you want more pea-sized or a little bit smaller if you want. There are, certain pastries that you want to like rub in the flour, make sure that there's, as little chunks as possible. Sometimes I do that with the puff pastry if I have patience and time. But for this one, you would just really need pea-sized, so where you can still kind of see chunks of butter. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pour the liquids, which in this case is the egg and heavy cream. You're gonna form a little well with the dough, so you kind of push it up to the sides. Make sure all the liquids get into the center of the well. Cool, and you're just going to mix all that together.
This is fun with the kids. Kids like to put their hands in there and play with the dough and cook.
Really, dry spots, no dry dough hanging around everywhere. It all kind of comfortably comes together. You gotta do it yourself. It's not something you can really learn in a book. It's by the look, by the touch, everything.
Is it wet?
Okay. So I still have a little bit of dry spots on the bottom that doesn't seem to be picking up. So I'm gonna just pour in a little bit left. It should be just enough.
What was that?
I still have some dry spots in my dough, so I'm just gonna try to scrape some more liquids in.
The egg and the...
Yeah, the egg and heavy cream. All right.
This is about the consistency you want. It's a sticky dough.
Okay. So next are the inclusions. We're just tossing in the frozen cranberries and the raisins.
Can you tell how you did the raisins?
Yeah, they have to be coarsely chopped. They have to be nice and
The
chopped.
cranberries.
Yeah.
How about the raisins?
And then the raisins, they have to be soaked in hot water for a few minutes. I don't think I included that, but write that down. But that's just to make sure they're nice and plump. All right, incorporate them.
So you're using frozen cranberries, not dried cranberries.
Correct.
Why?
Juiciness, flavor.
For juiciness and flavor?
Yeah, I think so.
But if you had dried cranberries at home,
Yeah, you could probably just plump them with water, soak them, yeah. Again, that goes back into not working it too hard, too much, just so that it doesn't get too dense with too much flour.
if you were to add orange zest, at what point do you use your orange zest or lemon zest?
That would be with the inclusions, which is to say the cranberries and the raisins.
So the dough is patted out to about 1 inch
Correct.
thickness. So after you pat the dough out to about a 1 inch thickness, you start cutting and shaping your scones.
Yeah, they can be round. A lot of times they're triangle. They pat out the dough into a big circle, and then they just cut lines. So right before you put it into the oven, I just have some more heavy cream. This is just regular heavy cream. I have a regular brush, nice and clean, and then we're just going to top the scones with the heavy cream, and then after that we're going to sprinkle it with sugar. 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes to 20 minutes. Well, it's very lightly browned. You don't want too much color. You just want it until it just starts to get brown.